Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Vegan Lounge, and today we will be looking at an important topic, paternity fraud. Why do some women cheat on their men and then come back to say that the child is for the man when it is not true? This man goes ahead for years taking care of this child only to find out later that the child belongs to another man. How does he feel? He feels heartbroken. We are going to look at so many clips to see how these men break down on hearing this. Would you want to have such an experience? Of course not. And that is why we are trying to tell you to marry a virgin. Watch.
Morgan Wise is the only dad his children have ever known.
This is Raleigh, he's the youngest, Marty, Rowdy, and Carly.
But in just one day, 3 of them lost their father.
Raleigh's the one with cystic fibrosis.
2 years ago, a family doctor informed Wise that genetic tests confirmed he was not a carrier of cystic fibrosis.
And that's when he said, you know, there's no way that this boy could be yours.
Paternity tests revealed Wise did not father Rowley or his 2 other sons, Marty and Rowdy. Of his 4 children, only the oldest, Carly, was biologically his.
I am their dad. I'm just not your birth father.
Wise never questioned paternity at the time he and the children's mother divorced in 1996. But now he says,
Child support needs to come from their biological father.
I argue that, yes, men should take care of their children. But the thing is that they ignored the bigger problem that this system puts on men, especially good men. This man acknowledges that he has been a father to those kids, to those boys, that he is brought up in his house, that he has shown love to, that he has put a roof over their head and given them every opportunity. He was informing them that he is no longer their biological father. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have love for them, but if we were to keep in line with what women came at me with in the comments, then the biological father should be the one responsible for this. And not to mention something that we haven't even talked about is the wife in this case that was divorced. A lot of times women are quick to throw things on men, but not hold the women responsible that do these type of reprehensible things, that will go behind a man's back and not even tell him that the possibility that his kids aren't his. This is one of the biggest things that men worry about when they get with women.
Texas law disagrees. A judge ruled Wise must continue paying $1,100 a month in child support and then revoked his visitation for telling the boys he was not their birth father.
So this man is paying over $1,000 a month for kids that aren't his, and just because he gave those boys the truth, the judge is making him to continue to pay. How is that fair? Ladies came at me in my comments trying to tell me all these reasons why it was fair for women to continue to collect child support from people from the taxpayers that didn't even create the children. You put the men on trial. You tell you that men need to be responsible. Why do me and the other taxpayers have to pay for your kids? So I get it. Men should take care of their responsibilities. But at what point does the responsibility fall on the woman? This is what you all are teaching young girls. How is it fair for this man to be paying for kids that he did not create? How is that fair?
Phyllis Royal represents Wanda Fryer, the children's mother.
These children know Morgan Wise's dad, and basically he's emotionally scarred these children.
The emotional aspect, the psychological aspect has already been inflicted. So what's left? Money. That's it. She wants the money. He doesn't want to pay it.
They're saying that man scarred those kids, so he should be paying money. Instead of going after the real father, figuring out who that is. Instead of holding the mother accountable for having these kids be in this man's life, him not knowing that she cheated on him. The system, and this is what we're talking about. This is what men have a problem with. The system not holding women accountable, but holding men accountable.
The courts have always assumed that a child born within a marriage was fathered by the husband. And if a man questioned paternity, he had to do so before a custody battle was settled. But DNA testing has become so easy and so popular that dozens of complicated cases like this one are now clogging the system.
But this is so common right now that men are raising kids that aren't their own, that they're trying to find out about, hey, is this child mine? That they're a backlog. Now, this is an older video, but the point is, if a man brings up to a woman that he wants a paternity test because he just wants to make sure that everything is up and up, just to make sure everything is fine, what does a woman do? She shames him. That is something inside of a man's DNA that he wants to make sure that the kids that he is raising is his own.
Paternity testing has spawned a whole new industry. In Baltimore, billboards for one.
They're making a lot of money off this.
Forefather hawking the latest
making a lot of money
technology.
off of this.
And last year, more than 250,000 men bought into it. The results, roughly 30% who took the test found out it wasn't them.
And those statistics still stand to this very day. 30% of men who are raising kids that are not their own. How is that fair? How is that fair?
For the sake of the child, family law experts believe the courts are unlikely to catch up with science.
They're very reluctant to leave a child without support.
Financial or emotional. So, who's the victim here?
I want to say me first, because this was done to me because I was her
Yes.
husband and the children.
You're talking about a man that went to work, took care of his wife, took care of those kids as a good father. And because of the actions of his wife, her negligent actions to cheat on her husband, this man is now paying for her destructive behavior. The courts have not caught up with this. They are saying that somebody has to pay for these kids. And so if you are the sucker, the man that is in this situation, this system of paying child support is not fair for all men. How is that fair?
Some might argue it's the other way around. But Morgan Wise and thousands lined up behind him appear willing to test that theory.
Listen, it's not even just child support. We're talking about a whole judicial system that is making its income off of child support and divorce. These things affect men disproportionately to women in terms of the judgments that's passed out. There are a lot of women who are gaming in the system because they know this is their meal ticket. This is a way for them to have additional cash and be on the come up. And some women are having kids on purpose just so that they can get the bag.
You can't deny facts. So here's a fact. 400,000 people in our country receive alimony every year through our court systems. Only about 3% of those are men. That's 388,000 women versus 12,000 men. You want to say hypergamy doesn't exist? You want to say our court systems aren't biased? You want to question why men are giving up on traditional marriage and teaching their sons to do so? Here's a fact. 3% of men. That's not a very good chance.
I call these women paternity fraudsters because this is inhuman and unfair to the male gender. They go ahead to make these men feel hopeless, devastated. For years, they keep on raising children that are not theirs. There are so many cases, there are so many of them in our world today. And these women doesn't see these things as crime. The court doesn't see these things as crime. Nobody is backing up the men. So these men out there should know what they want. Would you want to have such an experience? Of course, nobody wants to have this experience. You would want to get married and raise children that are yours. Children that you would invest on and during old age, they would invest back on you or help your life. Would you like to grow up old and then find out that these children that you've always taken care of, you've invested on, are not your children? How would you feel? That is a wasted life. And that is why you need to go for the virgins. The virgins are the best. We preach that the virgins are the ones that have kept themselves. They know the values of marriage. So many of them have been treated in our world today as if they are nobody, but in the real sense, they are the best. Those people that treat them as nobody are only afraid of them because of what those virgins have. They have lost theirs. Having multiple sex partners damages a woman's sense of being stable in a marriage. Some of them has bad record of past sex life, past experience that has psychological effects on them. They are looking for who to pin their children on. And then they come into this marriage pretending. Some get married with someone else's baby, their ex. There are so many baby dramas out there. There are so many troubles. They come in with so many baggages. But here,